Three, two, one. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mr. Movies Podcast. I'm your
Oh
host,
yeah,
Duncan.
and guess what month it is?
It's September.
September. It sure
Sure.
is. Duncan, how many things did you watch this month?
I got a cool and strong 6 entries.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, look at me being an overachiever because I watched 12.
Oh, man.
There was some stuff that I thought was just okay that I watched this month. So in the beginning, I kind of plan on just banging them out and just.
Well, you know what? Because you've lapped me so much this month, I think you should go first.
Alrighty. Well, I'm about to just knock off a bunch. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the HBO same day theater, same day release movie, Cry Macho, starring Clint Eastwood. Did you watch this, Duncan?
I think we both know the answer to that.
It's either no or your grandpa made you watch.
That's fair, actually. No, I did not watch Cry Macho.
Cry Macho. It's a fun movie, it's a Clint Eastwood movie. You know what you're getting. It's a Western. I enjoyed it, but I don't really have any passionate burning thoughts about it.
Okay.
So Cry Macho, a good one.
All right.
You got HBO and it's 2 a.m. and your wife just left you. Check it out. I don't know. I don't know. That's my recommendation.
Oh, wow. It's a specific set of requirements.
Zombieland 2, real quick. Have you seen Zombieland?
I have seen Zombieland, but I haven't seen
Zombieland 2.
Haven't gotten to the sequel.
Zombieland 2, surprisingly a lot of fun. Don't have a lot of whole strong thoughts about it. Some fun cameos.
Mm-hmm.
They did a kill of the week month gag in this movie where they show these extreme zombie kills. Pretty funny. I laughed. I had a fun time. It's a zombie comedy. What else could you yep.
Yeah.
The Father, a movie about a man who has dementia. That was ironic. And
that's the one with the guy and the girl, right?
Bafa beans. Yeah. Why can't it? Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
He won Best Actor. This is actually a really good movie. I'll talk about this one for a little bit. Anthony Hopkins steals the show. His acting's phenomenal. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. It looks very powerful.
It is very powerful. I don't have a whole lot of passionate thoughts about it, but I don't know. I just enjoyed it. It was a fun ride.
I really like movies about old people losing their sense of purpose.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. No. I'm really kidding. That's just really sad.
Oh, gosh. Midnight Special. So the last movie I'll talk about, and then I'm down to 8. So Midnight Special is a fun little indie movie with Adam Driver. It's about this little boy with superpowers.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Oh my God, Kylo, have my babies. Sorry,
this
continue.
Is a really heartwarming movie. If you like superhero movies, you'll like this one. It's got a lot of heart and soul into it. It's about the magic of parenting.
Ew.
We both, me and Duncan can relate to that.
Yeah, I love my 7 children. But only 3 if you count the ones I love.
Midnight Special is a good movie. Check it out. Give it a watch. Duncan, I gotta drink some water. What did you watch?
All right, well, you chug that hydration fluid. I'm going to talk about Hot Fuzz, which is a very fun, classic movie that I've seen maybe 5 times.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that this was a family movie night pick. We just wanted a comfortable watch.
Is this directed by the Edgar Wright?
It sure as hell is, and you can tell.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's oh, you haven't seen it?
I have not. It's on my list.
Dude,
I don't know where it's streaming.
Hot Fuzz is a must watch. It's truly the top of the game. It's about this city cop who's overachieving, and he's played by Simon Pegg, and he's too good, so he makes the rest of the department look bad, so they reassign him to this stupid quiet village where he has to work with all these other officers that aren't to his level, and he's like annoyed, and it starts off as this kind of like slice of life kind of story about
Yeah.
this guy kind of having to readjust to like quiet life, but then murders start happening, like a string of murders, and they're connected.
Yeah.
It's murder. It's really good. I do recommend it. It's a great movie.
I'm going to talk about another HBO same day release movie.
Yeah, talk away.
I have you watched the movie Malignant directed by James Wan?
I have not, but I know of it.
This movie is incredible. It is so my jaw if you just want to watch something or you can kind of just turn your brain off and just be surprised, this is the perfect movie. I could see this becoming like a cult like horror film. There's so many great like lines in this, like time to cut the cancer out. It's so good. It's so good. It's over the top. Warner Brothers basically just let James Wan do whatever the hell he wanted. They were like, you know what? You made Aquaman and that made $1 billion. Do whatever you want with this one. It
Right.
doesn't need to make money. It's so good. It is so good. It's like it is so I can't even describe. I made the mistake of watching this with my family.
Oh,
100% were just I think my mom left the room halfway through.
This
I
is a
was
movie I could imagine parents walking out.
dying, dude. I was dying laughing. My dad was like, "This is stupid," and I was like, "This is genius."
Yeah, I knowing what I know about this movie, I don't yeah, I can't spoil it, but like wow, it's
Yeah. Do you know what the twist is?
I sure do.
Oh God, it's so good.
It's like it's
All I
the
would say
thing
is
you'd least expect. Like of all
there
the
is a scene.
possible.
There is a scene in a prison cell
Oh yeah.
that is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's nuts. It's one of those scenes where I had to watch it through my fingers and I was laughing the whole time.
Wow. That's a really powerful recommendation.
Oh dude.
Maybe I won't pick it for family movie night, but I do
No,
want
it's probably not that kind of movie. It's streaming on HBO.
Wow, all right.
And I recommend it. It has my approval. I'm head over heels for it.
Head over
talk about
heels. Head.
head.
Which
Head,
one, Frank? Which
head over
head?
heels. Okay.
Up top. That's a reference.
Nice. I'm going to talk about a Disney Plus series.
Oh, fun.
I watched Star Wars Visions.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to say,
Mm-hmm.
just from a conceptual standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
this was a cool ass idea.
Yeah, I agree.
If for those of you who don't know, it's basically they reached out to all these anime studios and basically said, you have free range to all our characters, anything you want to do, just make something Star Wars. That's like 12 minutes. And the first episode, I think I've seen the first episode like 5 times.
Really?
Like I think that first episode is some of the best Star Wars some of these episodes are some of the best Star Wars I've seen.
Wow.
And like some of them are definitely like childish and silly. There's like one about like a boy band on Tatooine, and then Boba Fett comes in and like is shredding his guitar, like stuff like that I wasn't into.
Sure.
If I was 12, I would have loved that. Like so, like I'm happy it exists.
Right.
Because like I grew up in the era of like Connect Star Wars. Do you know the Connect Star Wars game?
Well, yeah.
Where basically there's like the Just Dance version of Star Wars, and you can dance as Han Solo, and all the music is like a parody of it. Right. And then there's like mini games where like you can ride a Rancor and just destroy Tatooine and stuff, which is fun. So like I grew up in that era of silly stars. I watched Clone Wars. As good as profound as that series is, there's arcs about R2D2 and C3PO going to a droid spa, you know? I love the silly stuff.
There's some goofiness in there, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of like that Star Wars Vision was like the best of both worlds. I tell you that first episode, some of the concepts in it, I was like, I'd love to see some of this stuff in live action. Like Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
really love the idea of like reaching out to studios and being like, do
do
whatever.
whatever you want.
That's so cool.
And it's like its own thing. I would love to see a season 2 of this.
Yeah, let's hope they do that.
I really hope they do.
I watched Cinderella,
Which Cinderella?
the Camilla Cabello one.
Oh no!
This was
I was thinking the Lily James one.
oh
I
no.
was like, I have good things to say about that. Uh-oh.
I met with some old friends from high school, and like the three of them, they're like, we're not similar. We had film class together, but like they're all they all like stopped going to film school. I'm like very much the film boy who like
Yeah.
kept going.
Prodigal son.
Like out of all these friends, like one's a nurse who like she's at UW and like medical science. Like they're all very professional people.
Yeah.
And so when we got together, they were like, haha, film student. I was like, yeah. And so they were like, we get to pick the movie. And they picked Cinderella.
Isn't James Corden in it?
James Corden plays one of the mice.
Oh God.
This
That
movie,
man can't stop playing furry animals in musicals.
yeah, he needs to like seek help for that, I think. Um this movie is a take on the very classic Cinderella story of like girl wants prince, prince throws ball, girl invokes ancient magic in order to sneak into the ball and work around her
Yeah.
bitch stepmom. And so this story is like, okay, all right, that's cool, but let's make it about starting your own business.
Oh no.
Couldn't tell you why, but they girl bossified Cinderella. Turns out she wants to like make dresses for a living, and during one of the king's like speeches, she like heckles him a little bit for some
Uh-huh.
reason, and the prince is like, hot damn, that's one spicy mama I'd like to bite into. So
Oh.
so he like seeks her out and he's like, hey, you should come to this ball and like pitch
Can
your
I ask a
dress ideas
question?
to my sister. Oh yeah, go on.
Did your non-film school friends know it was bad?
Oh yes, that's why they picked it.
Okay. I'm
They
just
were having a
making
great.
sure. So
Oh my
you
god,
never know. I had a family member on Facebook who watched this movie and said it was great.
disown them. Like you cannot. That can't fly.
We
Yeah,
can't let him
these people they popped an edible and they were having a great time, and I was just suffering through the whole runtime. And like, so the prince is like, yeah, come pitch your dress to like my sister at this big ball. And so she goes and she's like pitching her dress to all these people, and like the fairy godmother's just like, you can't go in rags. So he like gives her the dress, and it's Cinderella, but
yeah.
they injected it with this like entrepreneurial spirit, and it's like, Cinderella, you don't need a man to be happy. What you need is a small retail shop.
So is there even a prince in it?
Yeah, there's a prince, but he's got like an earring and he's like a simp.
Oh, sounds relatable.
Yeah, you
I
know what? This is a hard pass. I can't in good faith recommend this movie to anyone that I want to remain happy.
yeah.
So don't watch it. Oh, it ends in a dance number. Don't worry. Like a giant dance
Well, it
number.
has to.
Oh my god, this was so funny actually. The big dance number happens in this courtyard where there was a lot of gravel. So like there's like 80 people doing like this dance, but they're kicking up so much gravel that
Yeah.
like you can see that there must have been a lot of takes because the air just gets grimier and dustier as the scene goes on. And like it's
That's
to the
funny.
point where like you kind of have to squint through this haze to see anybody. And it's kind of like if that's not just like the
Who does
perfect
this star again?
Camila Cabello, the
Is she a
songstress.
TikToker? Who is she? I forgot. Who is she?
She probably has a TikTok, but I don't know where she started, but she wrote Havana, Like,
oh, she's dating Shawn Mendes.
dated.
They broke up?
I'm sorry to break it to you, but they're no longer Hollywood's next
I was
big
really
thing.
rooting for him.
I know, right?
I feel like such a piece of crap.
This has been Drama Talk with the Mr. Movies podcast.
I'm thinking of Addison Rae. She's a TikToker.
Yes, who is also an actress, but who is not dating Shawn Mendes.
She was in He's All That.
Yeah, that's on my list too. Not for this month.
You watched He's All That?
I sure did. Oh no, wait, it is on. I watched this in September.
Well, I have to go because I have more.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me go real quick. Actually, I'm going to talk about this one for a minute because I really enjoyed it. I've talked not recently, but in the past about how I really like courtroom dramas.
Sure.
And there was a show I was watching, a Canadian show called Burden of Truth. Mm-hmm. And it was back over the summer for its final season.
Oh, what?
And so I watched it, and oh my, I love this show.
A lot of drama in that courtroom.
I'm so upset that it's done. And I just want to talk, like, this show does this amazing thing where it takes these court cases, but it makes it personal for the protagonist. And I love the way this show ended. It just felt so wholesome, and they tied it all together. And I can't really say much because it's the 4th season, so like I can't really, like, it would mean nothing to people for me to talk about it. But I just thought this show, I just talking about it, I want to go back and rewatch it. I really love this show.
It's the best kind of show.
It's gonna be like one of those ones where like nobody's watched it, but I'm always gonna bring it up and recommend it to people.
Yeah.
Burden of Truth, check it out. It's on Hulu, and it's phenomenal.
Burden of Truth. You heard it here.
Kristen Krug is a phenomenal actress.
What?
Kristen Krug.
Krug.
Ugh. Why you gotta be like that? Why are you the way that you are?
I was born this way, hater.
Oh, Kristen Krug, that's nasty. Oh, subscribe to my channel, Kunkin Dassner.
How dare you? If my name was Kunkin Krug, I would live in a hole.
Kunkin Krug.
Oh God, I shouldn't have said that.
What did you watch this month?
I'll talk about Hes All That for a hot second.
How is Addison Rae's acting skill?
Addison Rae is not the worst actress I've ever seen. I guess TikTok trained her, or like, I guess she's good at like.
I've seen some of her stuff on TikTok, and it seemed like wholesome stuff.
It's inoffensive. It's a lot of like dancing and lip biting and like winking at the camera. It's
maybe I haven't seen her stuff because that is not what I'm thinking. I must be thinking of someone else.
I think it was a shock to many people because like She's All That.
She's the one with blonde hair, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think she might have changed it. I don't know. She's All That is like this cult classic, right? And it's like
I got to look up Addison Rae because I've got like 20 people in my mind who could be.
Okay, let's we need Frank to get on track.
Oh God. How do you spell Addison?
ADD. And then I don't know.
Is this her?
Yeah, that's Addison Rae.
I've never seen that woman before in my life. I take back everything.
All right. Well,
okay, never mind.
It turns out you're not her biggest fan. Yeah, I think it was a big surprise to a lot of people that she was cast in the reimagining of this like cult classic.
I like the original He's All That, or She's All That.
It's an interesting story, like, and it's got a lot of heart to it. And this,
it's definitely aged not well.
Oh, of course not.
It's
nothing in the 80s has aged well.
Yeah, I think this was the 90s.
Was it?
I think it was a
all the
9.
same time period to me. It happened before I was born. It's not real. It's like this. It's kind of like Cinderella, where like they glamified it. Like
Yeah.
it's because like she's a popular girl, and her big influencer boyfriend dumped her on Instagram Live, so everyone saw it. And
Oh
so
my
she
God.
needs a redemption story. And her friend's like, you just need to date one of those ugly, stupid, fat, dumb, worthless, broke, regular boys.
They should have cast me. No.
Now you know what she looks like. Now you just want to date her.
No.
So she picks like this emo photographer, and she's like, I'm gonna fix him.
Oh,
And
and
then,
that's Tanner Bucknana. But Tanner,
huh?
what's the guy's name? His name's Tanner.
Tanner?
Isn't the actor's name Tanner?
I don't know the actor's name.
He's in Cobra Kai. He's really good.
All right. He didn't show it in this movie, but
Tanner.
he's like, yeah, I take photos because of my dead mom, and she's like, that's so hot. So she falls in love with him, and
Wait, what?
he's like, my dead mom gave me this camera before she died, so now I just take pictures of things. And he
Does he take her picture?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he like raises horses. And like it's the weirdest shit. Like they're trying really hard to make him this like endearing, mysterious boy, and instead they just kind of make him look like a freak. I'm being mean. I'm sorry, but like it's so funny to me. Every animal in this movie, because there's like dogs and horses. Every animal is so nervous around Addison Rae. Like they're fine in every scene except when they have to be next to her.
That's
Like they're just
funny.
nervous around her, and I think it's because she has evil energy. And I am going to like look further into this. But
Oh God.
there's just something about her that makes.
After that movie, she signed a contract with Netflix, so she's gonna be making more
Are you
stuff.
fucking serious? Oh my god, that's. Anyway, this movie has no good messaging because it's about. I mean, the original is also about like changing people, and then like, oh, you learned your lesson, don't change people.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it's like almost recommended that you change people. And like
Is it
the
like
message doesn't land.
do they do with Tanner Butch Buchanan? That's not his name. What they did with like the original one where like I remember the girl's like attractive, but she's just wearing glasses and her hair is like.
Oh yeah, they give him a makeover where they like shave him.
They're
and, like,
already attractive, but they just
They shaved him. They put gel in his
they
hair.
shaved him.
They took off his whole body. Yeah,
they shaved him.
They did his hair and they like took away the flannels. Yeah, they shaved the guy. They like tied him down and he's screaming and kicking.
You said that. They shaved him.
He's kicking and screaming, and there's just 7 people shaving the shit out of that guy. It was horrible. It was a terrible movie.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding, but like, yeah, don't watch it. It's bad.
How many more things do you have?
That's a good question. Let me put in my password 0000. I have 3 things left.
Okay, let me talk about 2 right now. Have you ever heard of the director Mike Flanagan?
That's a familiar name.
He's done a lot of cool stuff, especially on Netflix. I checked out one of his earlier films, Oculus.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is about this possessed mirror that kind of makes you see different things. So like, and I remember seeing the trailers for this movie when I was like little when it came out, because I think it came on like 2008, and it freaked me out because I remember there was like this girl picking up an apple, and it's Karen Gillan, and she takes a bite out of the apple, and then you hear glass shatter, and she pulls the apple away, and it's a light bulb, and it's freakier in the movie because then she like freaking takes the piece of glass out of her mouth, and it's covered in blood, and it is.
Oh my God! You watched this?
I did, and this movie I really liked it. Because it's about like childhood trauma and stuff.
Fun.
Yeah. And it was really well made, and especially for someone's first film, like first big film. Because Mike Flanagan is kind of interesting. He kind of I think he was with his girlfriend at the time, and she was pregnant, so only had one like shot to make a movie. So he kind of made like this movie with whatever he had. And then it ended up doing like really good in festivals, and then he was able to make Oculus. And I just think it's really cool. I like stories like that. I love seeing movies like this where people get to do stuff like that.
Yeah, having a film do well in a film festival is much better than having a kid. Oh, is that not the message you're supposed to? That wasn't
the message.
Oh,
but,
whoops.
Yeah. So then, to continue down the Mike Flanagan train, I decided to watch another one of his movies on Netflix called Hush.
I've never heard of that. No.
Oh, I got excited. I thought you'd seen it. Hush is a really good movie. And I kind of was watching this and I was like, I have a feeling like John Krasinski was like watched this and was inspired to come up with A Quiet Place. Because it's about this woman who like lives out kind of in like the middle of nowhere.
Red flag.
And then there's this guy in like a hockey mask outside her house, and he's like trying to fucking kill her. Oregon, what's going on with me today? But he's trying to kill her, and she's deaf.
She's dead?
So deaf.
Dead?
D-E.
Yeah.
A.
Dead.
F.
Oh, deaf. Couldn't hear you. Bad connection. I might be deaf.
So she's deaf, and once she realizes that this guy's trying to break in, she's doing everything in her power to obviously try to prevent him from killing her.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And this movie should not work, but it does. And it's phenomenal. Like I just think it's a really fun movie, and it's definitely worth checking out.
Wow. Yeah, I might check that out. I like that kind of like simple concept horror movies.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go. I watched a documentary that my grandpa did not make me watch.
Good.
I watched this of my free will.
Alrighty.
It's called Boys State, and it's about...
What streaming service is this on?
I think it's on Netflix, or maybe Paramount. I don't remember.
Is it on Apple?
I don't remember.
Shoot. Oh my God. Okay, keep talking.
Boys State is about like the youth and government kind of program where like, we take this group of kids and like half of them are Democrats, half of them are Republicans, and they do like this mock election. And they it's like a field trip. So they take all these kids and put them in buses and ship them out to the Capitol or whatever. And I think it's a really simple documentary. It's really just a documentation of like these kids campaigning. But what I love about it is that it kind of turns into Lord of the Flies, because it's...
Yeah, I just added it to my watch list. I have been wanting to watch this. It's on Apple TV. I completely forgot about it.
It's really interesting because like it's just like the campaigns these kids run against each other are like when I did mock elections in like elementary school, it was just like 5 kids would like write, we want like longer recesses, or like,
we did a mock election my senior year
of high school.
It was around the time it was the 2016 election. That's why. So we did like our own. And
bummer.
I remember I was like head of advertising for our team, so I did all the videos.
Yeah.
And like,
well, did you ever consider like slandering and lying about your opponent in order to embarrass them in front of 1 million people?
No, but we had to make social media accounts, and one of the people who was on our team, he was kind of an asshat, told one of the other people on the other team, he was, because I think he was doing our social media, and he gave the password and username to one of the other people, and then started writing like terrible things on our Twitter.
Oh my
We
God.
lost the election.
Of course you did. But like,
Oh.
that's the kind of shit that you see in this documentary. Like, there's these people who like just try to like narrow in on like the insecurities and weak points of their opponents. And like it's not like they're these evil, dastardly like supervillains. They're like teenage boys. And it's
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't be thinking about this. You should be thinking about playing Halo and like eating Doritos, but
Yeah.
like talking to girls or something. But instead, they're committing like political subterfuge crimes against each other.
Yeah.
I really recommend this documentary.
Yeah.
It'll
I've been wanting to check it
it'll
out.
crush you, because at the end, and not to spoil it, and I won't, but
I
like,
was gonna say don't.
like one of the kids, like he runs a campaign against his opponent by basically just like lying, but like,
Damn.
and then like the guy who lost, in his little confessional, he's like, yeah, like that guy beat me, and like he's gonna be a great politician one day, but I don't know if that's a compliment. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, hard recommendation. Love
Yeah,
that
I
documentary.
am gonna watch it, and we'll talk about it again because I have been wanting to check that one out. Have you ever heard of the director Mike Flanagan?
Is that a different guy than the other director
No.
you asked me?
So I watched a show he produced that I just thought was phenomenal. And after talking about this one, I'll have two left, but they're both tied for my number one spot and favorite thing that I watched.
Are they both made by Mike Flanagan?
No.
Okay, good.
But I want to talk about this one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I watched The Haunting of Bly Manor. Have you seen this before?
I'm too scared.
You haven't seen it?
No, of course not. It's got spookies.
I think you would like this one. This one's really good.
No, I want to watch it.
I actually was watching this. I was like, I feel like Duncan would like. I was actually thinking of you when I was watching. So I was like, I feel like Duncan would really like this one.
This is the gay one, right?
It is the gay one, yeah.
Then yes.
I've watched this twice. I watched it once by myself and then once with my family, and they all loved it.
Oh wow.
I will say my parents didn't like the ending. I really loved the ending. But I think this show is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool because the way they do ghosts in this and stuff is that what you're seeing isn't scary. It's what they're saying and what's implied about ghosts in this universe is what's scary. Because it ties back into like the viewer's life, and it's kind of a little depressing. But God, I love this series so much that I actually went out and got the Blu-ray of it.
Whoa.
So I could like rewatch it, and it's like, it's phenomenal. It is so good.
It's Haunting of Hill House and then Bly Manor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch them because I love that stuff, but I also just, I don't want to pee my pants because like I don't handle like horror super well.
No, it's very good. I think you would be able to watch. I think because I think they've done like 3 shows of it. I think but they're all different. Like each season is its own story.
Right.
So
yeah.
Matter. Bly Manor is definitely the least scariest. Like I said, it's more so scary in what it implies. It's not so much jump scares.
Okay, that's good.
And it's one of those things where like I wish I could rewatch this and the other 2 things I'm going to talk about. I wish I could rewatch again for the first time.
Aw,
like they're so
cool.
good. But that's my thoughts on The Haunting of Bly Manor. I'm going to have you go next, and then I'll talk about my last 2.
More like The Haunting of Bye Manor because they're gay. Uh,
Good one, Duncan.
Thank you, Frank. I watched School of Rock
Nice.
for the first time. Never seen
What?
it.
What?
I know, and I fucking loved it.
I was gonna say it's pretty
so sweet. It's just like this. It's got the childlike wonder in it, and it's
Yeah.
like it's very much a very classic kind of this movie where like a guy grifts his way into a position he's not prepared for, and then he learns a lesson from the kids.
Yeah, but
You
it's
know,
good. It's
it's
so
really
good.
good. It's like it's the perfect amount of like wholesome and dumb fun, and
Yeah.
it's got a young Miranda Cosgrove, and Jack Black carries it, and the
Yeah.
woman, I forget her name, but she's there. It's fantastic. It's really
It
cute.
is.
It's sweet, and I don't know. It's the kind of movie that like I feel like I can always go back to and get like a fun watch out of it.
Yeah, it is. I've seen that movie more times than I can count.
Yeah.
It's great.
School
It's
of
great.
Rock was fantastic. I don't
You
have
give it
anything.
A plus?
Yeah, it passes my class.
Is that all you have to say? Was that your list?
No, I have one left.
Oh, perfect. So I'll go next then. Are you okay?
My roommate just started vacuuming. Don't they know I have an internet presence?
I have to run to the potty real quick.
The what?
The potty. Can you give me 2 minutes?
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
So just give me 2 seconds.
No worries. Hey everyone, Frank is currently in the restroom, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that thank you guys for listening to Frank and I talk about movies. You know, Frank and I met in film school, right? Movies have always been this bond that connects us. And I think that's really why we attached to each other, because we both had this similar passion. And we started off in this film school class, and like we've both graduated now, and even in our last year of film school we didn't get to see each other because of the Chronovid virus. And like I think it's been 3 years since I've seen Frank in person, which is very sad. I miss that guy, but just getting to talk to him every few weeks about just movies and our shared passion is it's so nice. And like even if we didn't record anything, right? Like I would do this. I would do this for free. And I'm just happy that you guys get to share that moment with us and let us do this. And we're going down different paths. Frank wants to do Hollywood, I want to do YouTube, and like it's just nice to know that even though we're exploring these different avenues of film, that we can always come together on this little Zoom call. Oh my God, what was that?
I heard you saying something deep, so I just thought it'd be funny to.
You just like, oh my God, that was terrifying. I just heard like this bellow from your hallway. I thought like you were massacring a yak.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you flew in a yak and you were just.
Oh my God. Alrighty.
You bastard. Anyway.
I'm gonna talk about so I usually save my number one thing for like the last.
Sure, yeah.
I really have been dreading this episode because I can't pick between these two.
What a hard choice. What a life you lead.
I'm gonna make the decision. So this is my number 2 right now.
All right.
Have you ever heard of the director Mike Flanagan?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Are you shitting me right now?
I watched The Haunting of Hill House.
All right. Cool.
And oh my God.
Yeah.
I think this has to be one of the most incredible things ever put to television.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this show twice, from like when I watched in September.
Yeah.
I actually got the Blu-ray box set of Hill House and Bly Manor together, but I
Oh.
didn't want to give away that I watched Hill House.
No.
I I think that this show is so well crafted, and you watch this and you just know it's personal,
Ooh.
and it's, oh my god, this one I will say is scary.
Oh.
But like, if you can summon up the strength to watch it, you will be
Yeah.
so happy you did.
Yeah, I'll do it, man. Fine.
It's so good. And like, everyone told me this was like one of the best Netflix shows going into it, but I couldn't believe how good it was. So even with high expectations, I was blown away.
Really?
I think this show is just perfect.
Perfect. Whoa.
Yeah. And it's my number 2 for this month.
That's crazy.
There's an episode, and it's cool watching behind the scenes, where I think there's only, as an editor, you're going to be blown away. There's only 4 cuts within the whole episode.
In an episode of TV?
They like long tracked the whole thing, and they built the sets specifically to film this one episode because they knew they're going to do this going into it. So they had certain sets connect so that way they could go into each other. And it's nuts. They used, I was watching the behind the scenes for it where they're talking about it. They had a certain dolly that they were planning on using, but they couldn't because it made too much noise. So they used this one dolly that didn't make noise on carpet. But what they didn't know was that dolly wasn't made to be used on carpet. So
Right.
over time, the carpet fibers were getting caught in the dolly and it was getting harder to move. And he said they literally got the last shot they needed and the dolly literally like fell apart at that moment. So they just made that episode happen by the skin of their teeth, basically. And it shows,
so
it is
wild.
so phenomenal. It's one, I think it is the best directed episode of television I've ever seen. I can't recommend the show enough. Like, it means so much to me that it exists, and it's so good.
God damn it!
It's
Fine, I'll watch it. Do you recommend I watch Bly Manor or Hill House first?
I think it doesn't matter. I will say, if you watch Hill House first, don't watch one first and expect the other one to be like that, because they're very different from each other.
Yeah.
Very, very different. I just want to stress that because I feel like people were disappointed going into Bly Manor because it came out after Hill House and be like, well, it's still like this. It's like, it's such a good thing on its own, though, that it doesn't need to be Hill House. I can't recommend it enough. It's phenomenal.
All right, well, fine. I'll watch it. It does sound
I want to rewatch it again. I just finished watching it last week for the second time, and I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll get to it. But if I'm spooked, it's on you.
Good.
If I have a heart attack and I die, you're paying for my funeral.
Were you about to say medical?
Well, yeah, there's not much medical if I'm dead.
I was gonna say deal.
All right. Well, my final movie is Hunt for the Wilder People.
I love Hunt for the Wilder People.
I love this movie so much.
It's so good.
This movie blew my socks off.
Yeah.
Because I think the trailer really did not do this movie justice.
I've never seen the trailer.
I saw the trailer when the movie was being advertised, and I was like, this looks like shit. Because it's just advertised as
I can imagine, because it's a little bit of a weird movie, and I feel like they wouldn't want to advertise how weird it is. The Ricky Baker birthday song is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. That's so fucking good. Got me. Yeah, the trailer for
that movie is so quotable. I'm just thinking about it, it's so good. It says here on the paper you're Caucasian, but you're clearly white. It's so funny. It is so funny.
I think Taika Waititi he did an amazing job. Yeah. And this was a book, so he took that source material and he made it his own movie.
Yeah.
And I think the trailers kind of pitched it as an old man and a kid living in the woods together, which does happen, but that's how the whole thing is pitched. And I was like, I don't want to watch 2 hours of that.
Yeah.
And then I watched the movie, and it was like,
it gets wild at the end.
It gets wild. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
it
It's
just kind of
there's
goes.
like tanks and helicopters and like a shootout and like all
It's
these
so funny.
converging characters and like betrayal and like
Yeah,
it's so rich. It's got so much story and heart and great character work. I'm so into it. I can't wait to watch it again.
yeah. I definitely want to revisit that one. I had such a good time watching it. I'm happy you watched it too. It's
Me too.
great. Taika Waititi. Alrighty, should I talk about my number one of
You
the
know what,
month?
Frank? I think you've earned it.
Alrighty. Um, Switching it up a bit. There's this director called Mike Flanagan whose work I really like.
You are
Um,
so lucky I'm not there with you because I would be just beating the hell out of you right
I
now.
so let me just explain real quick. I basically watched Hill House and
Uh-huh.
was like, I need to watch everything that this man's ever made.
Got it. Yeah,
So
that
that's
makes
why
sense.
he's one of my favorite directors of all time. I've rewatched everything at like a bunch. Like I'm just blown away. There's so much great stuff in it. But he had something new that came out in September
Hmm.
that I was like really I watched the trailer and I was like the trailer blew me away and I was like I need to watch this.
All right.
And
Wow.
it is perfect television. I said Hill House was near perfect television. This is perfect. 7 episodes, tells its story. I watched Midnight Mass
Ooh.
and I love this show so much. I call it a movie because it feels like a 7 hour movie. I love it so much. I just bought the behind the scenes book and I barely like put a dent into it, but it's amazing. This show was
This show is
basically
at like the top of my list right now. Like
this show
I
you need to watch immediately. Like
okay.
immediately. I I grew up in a very like grew up very religious
Mm-hmm.
and I am to this day very religious. And but you know, even when you're religious, there's just issues you take
Yeah.
with stuff. And there's a lot of people you meet in the religious community who are so certain about God
Mm-hmm.
and like what he stands for and stuff. And that's always bothered me because like it's one of those things where like you hear prayer and stuff and you're like, if God exists, like let's say God exists 100%, he exists, and we just find out he exists.
Mm-hmm.
That means we virtually know nothing because like you know nothing
Right. And it's the people who are
because
so
everything you
sure.
believe on is faith. It's on faith. So now that faith's just been confirmed, what do you really know? You don't know anything.
Right.
And like any religion could be true. It could be a culmination of all of them.
Yeah. It's
And
God and Zeus. Those are the
midnight
only two real ones.
midnight mass strives because it knows that. And literally, I think it is the best representation of religion I've ever seen on screen.
Whoa.
To where you have this whole island of basically Catholic people, and then you have this one cop who's Muslim. And I'm not going to say anything else other than that. I will say Raul Coley, who plays the police officer, steals the show.
He's
Every time he has a
fantastic.
scene, he steals it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I I cried during this show. Like this show gets you so invested that you will cry. I guarantee you will cry. My sister is not into horror at all, and I was so like gun ho on this one. I've been so passionate about it. I straight up was like, I seen the show. It came out in September. From
Mm-hmm.
September now, I've seen it 3 times, and I
Whoa.
want to watch it again.
Oh my
Um,
God.
I was so gun ho on my sister watching this. She was like, I can't watch horror by myself. I said, watch it with your boyfriend. She was like, fine. She watched it. She said they both cried while watching it, and they loved it. And I want to talk about the horror genre for a second
Oh
because it's
wow.
something
All
I'm
right.
passionate about. And I feel like people say they hate horror, and the people who say they hate horror is because they don't understand it and they haven't found the horror for them, because there's so many subgenres in horror. And I feel like as soon as you say horror, people think jump scares and slashers.
Mm-hmm.
And Midnight Mass is nothing like that. Nothing like that. It is such a good story. And oh my God, I want to watch it again just thinking about it. There's a character named Bev Keen in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my life, I've met so many Bev Keens. And oh God, they nail it. They nail it on the head with Bev Keen. And I was just blown away by this show and like the self-righteousness that she has of religion and wanting all these events to have to link to the Bible so she feels a sense of validation. And then from that validation comes this sense of like, well, follow me because I know best. And it's just so masterfully crafted. And it's insane how well they nailed it.
That, I mean, like I knew it was good, but like hearing you talk about it is like, I've got to see this.
You need to watch this. Make this. What are you watching right now? Are you watching anything right now?
No, nothing.
Just start it. Start it today.
Oh, wow. All right. As soon
After
as I'm
the
done
second
editing,
episode,
yeah,
you're just going to want to watch them all.
oh, that's
like,
awesome.
you're not going to want to stop.
Okay, the recommendations you've given me are Midnight Mass, Haunting of Hill House, and Haunting of Bly Manor. I would be pissing my britches for a month.
Midnight Mass, make a priority.
Okay, I'll watch that first.
It is insane. It is so insane. Oh my God. I cried, dude. I tell you, I cried multiple times throughout the show.
Man.
Oh.
I'm terrified, but I can't wait.
Mike Flanagan. Welcome to the Mike Flanagan episode of the Mr. Movies podcast.
Yeah, we gotta devote a whole episode to this guy so you can get a job with him.
Oh my God. I would love to shadow him. Like, if I could shadow this dude, I know he shoots like everything in Atlanta. I would fly in Atlanta and live in a cardboard box if I could just like shadow him for like an episode of a show or anything.
Wow.
I think he is one of the smartest dudes working in the industry right now.
Let's find his email. Let's find his house.
It's phenomenal. You just got to watch it. I don't know what else to say. Oh, right. And all three projects I talked about, Midnight Mass, Bly Manor, and Hill House. He cast his wife in all of them, Kate Siegel, and I just want to say she's phenomenal in it.
What a suck up.
No, dude.
Nepotism.
She earns her roles. And she plays very different roles in each one, and she kills it in each one.
No, yeah, I have heard that. It sounds really sweet.
She's phenomenal. I don't know how she isn't in more stuff. I don't know how I
was a director and I had an actress wife, I'd put her in everything.
Oh. If I
had an actress wife.
No, dude, she's genuinely phenomenal. She deserves the role she gets.
That is so cool. This guy sounds really cool. I didn't know he existed before this.
Yeah, no, some of the roles I'm like, I'd be uncomfortable to like cast and direct my wife in these scenes. So like I give him a lot of credit for doing it.
Wow. Yeah, let's make it our goal to have Mike Flanagan on an episode.
Dude, I would die.
Yeah.
I would die of happiness.
We got to get you a job.
That would be the worst episode of the Mr. Movies podcast, because it'd just be me asking him for like advice and be like, can you watch my short film and critique it? Like,
yeah, I'll be like, so Mike, and you'll be like, Mike.
No, I would like, I feel like he's one of those people. I feel like I'm at a point with like Hollywood where like I feel like I don't really like fanboy over people anymore. I'm just more so like, I'd love to pick your brain. I'd love to pick like your brain. That's like, like what's happening up there that's not happening in mine. You know, like what? Oh my gosh, what godly powers do you possess? But
you got a thirst for knowledge, and I think that's cool.
I do. I like to learn. That was September.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and September. Do you remember?
Do you remember the 21st night? I actually think Midnight Mass came out on September 21st.
Well, how about that?
Might have been the 24th. Maybe I'm a liar.
Well, but either way, it's very inconsequential.
Please like this.
Please hit the bell.
Please
leave.
Please subscribe so Duncan stops sending me mean text messages about how I'm the reason this channel's tanking.
That's really true. That's not a joke. I will wake him up in the middle of the night and I'll say, you failure. You're a black spot on my career and I'm going to kill you in real life.
He flies all the way from Seattle to New York just to slap me. And the worst part is my mother lets him in the house to do it.
And I'm really nice to his other family members. I'm very polite and cordial. But then I find Frank and I push him down the stairs and I spit in his shoes. Anyway, bye.
Watching.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.